the greatest evil sorcerer in the world, sought the golden power, and after banishing the 7 descendants of the sages who sealed him away to the dark world, he was able to touch the Triforce and be granted his wish of creating a dark world where everyone sent in is transformed into their own beast-like forms that reflect whatever was in their heart. Now he wishes to break free and rampage through the light world. The only thing stopping him is us. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, and welcome to what I assume is going to be the finale of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past Blind. I sure hope I didn't botch up that story, because I don't know too much about it, and I haven't looked at the intro in a while, so I don't remember how accurate it is, but hopefully it was at least theatrical enough that it made up for whatever mistakes I made. We've made our way. I again went to the inventory going to look at the map. We made our way up through level 8, Ganon's Tower. And the last room is the boss arena. Can only imagine what's in store for us beyond this door. But I don't have too many hearts to work with. I have 1 blue potion and 1 fairy. And I'm not looking forward to reascending the tower if I fail. So here's hoping. You're not Ganon. Ganon, are you really just gonna do this again? I guess we're fighting you. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. I can at least follow you to tell where you are. Unfortunately, yeah, I'll just follow the black one. I'll try to not get distracted by the other two. So wherever he happens to go, I'll at least try to move out of the way of the other dudes and see if I can reflect that back at him. It's a very interesting parlor trick. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do too much for you, Ganon. I can just make sure that the other guys don't hit me with their attacks, and as long as I can concentrate on you, it's not all that much of an issue. The only issue is when you and one of your clones is within the other one, so I can't really make sure that I hit yours. See, if you're going to be doing that, then I can't necessarily make sure that I hit you. I guess there's a little bit of a delay between your clone's attacks and your attack, so that makes things a little bit easier. And I also like how you can't really be at an advantage with the level 4 sword, because you still do the same strength of attack because you're reflecting his back at him. It's not necessarily an advantage. And I'm also wondering if I can hit the other guy's attacks back at Ganon. I didn't necessarily think about that, but it may have been one of the others I was reflecting back as opposed to his. So maybe I can use his clone's attacks to hit him, but there's definitely a delay between their attacks and his. Although they're starting to look a little bit... I really wasn't paying attention. I thought that his... Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit out of sync now. So his clone is going to be attacking after him, and I have to make sure I'm in position to hit his attack back. But yeah, I can reflect the clone's attacks. So that's an interesting twist on things. I can't pay attention to all 3 of them at the same time, and I thought for a second that I lost him. But he can't have too many hits left. He may have only 1. At least I'm hoping that's the case. But yeah, his attacks and his clone's attacks are getting a little bit out of sync right now. So it's difficult for me to be able to hit his back at him while avoiding the clone's attacks. Except that time would have worked if I was able to line myself up with it properly. I really like this challenge, because it forces you to, keep track of 3 different things going on at the same time in order to succeed. Really nice. And finally, different music! How long have I been waiting for this? I didn't know the bird comes with us into the dark world. Oh boy. They're giving us a chance to heal. I'm taking this chance to heal. I will meet you back. And so we return to the pyramid at the center of the Dark World. Now re-equipped with full hearts and 3 blue potions. What kind of fight should we expect? I know we need the silver arrows to defeat Ganon. The question is, how many do we need, and at what point do we need to start using them? Because I don't want to run out in the middle of this fight. I'm afraid this is the end of the text, and I want to make sure I hear this theme completely. Also, before the fight begins, I'm looking at the top of the screen. I see Ganon's face in the middle with his 2 claws on either side holding the Triforce. That is an awesome backdrop for a final battle. So, silver arrows, do you do anything? The sword certainly does, so I'm thinking I will need to use the sword, also your trident. And I do need to hit you with the sword strike as opposed to the sword beam. I'm finding that a lot of the bosses we've faced up until this point required us to hit them with the strike as opposed to the sword beam, which is kind of nifty. I'm also wondering if having the level 4 sword is actually helpful in this case, and do I need to start using these now? Maybe not. Oh man, I'm liking the way this sounds, too. If only I had the time to focus on the music so I could actually enjoy it for what it is. Wow. I almost feel bad talking over this, because I know if I do, I'm not going to be able to hear the music. But I really do like it. I'm gonna have to listen to it as soon as this fight is over. But these guys, I should probably heal myself if I know what's good for me. Because I should not have to use my fairy before I absolutely have to. The reason I have those is because I know they will heal me for more than fairies do. And I should take advantage of that fact while I can. So even if I'm not going to get a full heal out of what those potions would normally give me, I should still use them before I absolutely need them anyway. I just wish I had a nice way of dodging those bats. And you're starting to move around a little bit more than I would like you to. So when are you going to stop moving around like a little bitch? Or do I have to see where you're going and then judge based on that? Maybe? Well, I hit you there. And there goes the arena, which means if I fall off, you could potentially ask me to restart the fight again. I'm hoping you wouldn't. Okay, I didn't get to my potion fast enough. So if I drop down below 6 hearts, or even if I get to 6 hearts, I should probably consider using the potion. In fact, I should probably consider using it right now. If I take any more damage than I'm taking now, I should probably consider using it. I'm going to use it right now if you would allow me to get into my inventory. That is going to be a bit of a bother. If I can't get into my inventory fast enough to actually use the blue potion, that's going to be a bother. Wow, this is a fight. And there goes the rest of the arena, I imagine. So you're going to be over here now. Can I still hit you for... I'm guessing the bow and arrow now. Oh, I see where this is going. So we need to use the torches to see where you are. You just knocked me off. Please don't make me restart the fight. There's a whole room under here? Where am I? Oh no, this is going to be like Moldorm, where you're sending me through a dungeon down here just to wind up somewhere else, and I have to restart the fight anyway. Right? Yeah, I understand, if I could get to that point. And that's what you meant when you said you hope I never have to walk through this door. That's lovely. Except now I don't have the money to buy more blue potions. So do I... I'm debating resetting so I have the money for the blue potions as opposed to grinding for the money to get them. I think that's what I'll do. I'll meet you guys back here, I guess. So we've made it back for round 2. I'm thinking resetting was probably the thing to do, although I'm skeptical as to whether or not it would have restarted us at the very beginning of the fight. After Moldorm and the Tower of Hera, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, but I'd still rather be here with 3 full blue potions as opposed to 1 with very little life left. So either way, I guess we'll give it another shot. Alright, I think we're in the second phase now. We are. So I'm back at about the same position I was before, except here I need to pay super careful attention not to let him knock me off. So if I can keep... You're not going to let me hit you in this phase? Wait, so... What do I need to do? Because it said stunned. Use the bow when he's stunned, but he's not quite stunned yet. Now he is? Yes. Okay. I think I see what we have to do here, I just don't want to get knocked off. So if I can stun him with the sword in this phase, then I can use the silver arrows on him. But I have to get him stunned. And I'm worried about how many times I'll have to do this, because I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this up while having a nice amount of life that I'm confident in. So can I still... No, the lights are out again. I think I'll stop wasting time lighting both and just light the one. Because I don't have all that much magic I'll do, I do need to light both of them if I want to land a hit on him. So I have one shot at this if I can hit him with the sword. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to, and I have 2 hearts left. I did not realize this. So we're going to use the medicine again one last time, and I'm going to need to use the fire rod. Both times. So I'll wait for each of these torches to run out, and then I will light them both. And then, maybe we can get a couple of hits in on him. Okay, one more maybe? And then, we have to light the torches again. So, 1, 2... And can I get you while you're still here? No. How about when you're down here? Can I hit you? Yes, I can. And am I gonna need to light the torches again? Or is that really it? Is that really it? I have to admit, I'm kind of expecting more. It was a difficult fight, but I really was expecting something a little more difficult. I guess that's The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Wow. I have to admit, going in, I did expect this game to be one of the best games I'd played in a decent while. And I have to say, in that respect, I was not disappointed. Although I am used to the 3D Zeldas and they have a completely different playstyle, I have to say, going through this game, having only played one other 2D Zelda game, that I feel like this game, even by today's standards, really pushed what a 16-bit era game could do. And had me questioning whether or not, even by today's standards, they would be able to make a 2D Zelda game as good as they did this one. Now granted, it was a little bit more difficult than the games I was used to, but I'm not sure if they... Oh, those are the two guys that were chasing each other around on Death Mountain. I get the feeling that it's difficult to top this. Even with the 3D Zeldas as they are now, and how I grew up loving Ocarina of Time so much, being the first Zelda game I ever played, I think I can say that if I had played A Link to the Past first, I would probably feel the same way about Link to the Past as I do Ocarina of Time right now. Just because of how closely they relate in terms of strategy and in terms of game design, even though dungeons and puzzles are completely different. I still feel as if this game and Ocarina of Time are that similar, even though they have completely different 2D and 3D styles. So I can see where the debate is, and I imagine most people are on the side of whichever game they happen to play first. But besides the difference in the limitations of gameplay, they're very, very similar, strikingly so. And I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to play this game blind. Just because it gave me an appreciation for how well, similar to what I experienced with Super Metroid, how this game can help you learn how to play, figure out puzzles, and find secrets without having to rely on a guide or 10 minutes of tutorial. I'm very I almost said blessed, but that's not too much of a stretch either. I'm glad I was able to play this game, and I'm glad I was able to share my first experience with it with you guys. You guys have been really great about this. I know with the April Fool's episode, I did make fun of the fact that people were spoiling things for me, and granted it wasn't to that extent, but I'm also very happy that you guys have embraced the blind run element of this game as much as I have, and given me the opportunity to explore things on my own, while still giving me a couple of general tips and advice. And the Master Sword sleeps again forever. I have no idea where this is on the timeline, so I'm not going to comment on how true or false that statement is. Let's just leave it at that. And certainly we're going to have a staff roll call as well, right? I'm guessing this would be it. There we go. I don't know when the next time I'm going to do a blind run like this will be. I mean, I have a couple of games in mind, but I don't think any of them will have the entertainment of a blind run as much as Super Metroid and Link to the Past have. At least in terms of games that are relatively old classics that I haven't had an opportunity to play myself before. And I don't really have an idea as to what next big Let's Play I want to do. I have a couple of games on my list that I may try, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to record a couple of them, and the others I'm just not quite in the mood for. So there may be a few smaller projects in between Link to the Past and whenever I decide to get to my next bigger one. But I may need to take a week or two off in between here and there, just because I've got a lot of stuff going on. And I've really been pushing myself to get 4 to 5 videos of Link to the Past out in a week. I'm happy that I've been able to do that at a pace that I'd like to, but I'm also not sure if I'll be able to keep that up for much longer. So it was nice to see what I was capable of in terms of being consistent about uploads, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep up that pace, so I just wanted to let you guys know that in advance. But I don't know what else there is for me to say about Link to the Past that I haven't already expressed in the last 40 to 50 episodes. This game came with a lot of expectations from me, because I knew that there were so many people that loved this game, whether it was their first Zelda game, or if they had just come into it recently like I did, that a lot of people revere it as the best Zelda game and possibly the best video game ever made. And it's very difficult for me to make an argument against it, even by today's standards, with how old this game really is, looking at some of the newer work that we have out there now. It's difficult for me to make an argument that this isn't one of the best games of all time. And I'm finding more and more as I go back to some of these games that were made almost before my time. It feels really weird to say that. But to go back and play these classics that I'd never been exposed to before, after seeing what video gaming is capable of nowadays, I'm still able to look at these games and appreciate just how good they are, how well they've aged, and it just baffles me. To the point where I wonder if game developers these days don't take enough... Are those... Wait, games? Are those, like, counts of game overs? I'm guessing so. Which means they're probably going to be concentrated towards the beginning of the game. 9 deaths in the Palace of Darkness? Really? Are these game overs? I'm guessing they are. Wow. Well, I'd put 1 in Ganon's Tower because I did reset expecting I would have died again. But nonetheless, I was very happy to play through this game. I'm not sure if it came through in my commentary, but I had an absolute blast with this Let's Play. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. This is UniversalGiant, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.